One time my students were working on this project where they found out that refugees in our area here in Michigan often don't have closed-toed shoes. And so they wanted to have a big shoe drive and collect as many as they can, because if you live in Michigan, you need some closed-toed shoes. And so as an extra incentive, me and my co-teacher, we told our students, hey, if you collect enough shoes to touch the ceiling of our classroom, we will let you pour ice cold water on us outside in the middle of February. I mean, we said this pretty flippantly, not really thinking that our students would collect enough shoes to touch the ceiling. Well, after about 5 days, our students had collected over 700 pairs of shoes, enough to easily touch the ceiling of our classroom. And let me tell you also, this was in February and it was cold and snowing, and my students had this maniacal look in their faces as like, hey, you are gonna go out in that parking lot and we are going to dump water on you. And so I'm like, oh, why did I promise them that? And so my thought was like, okay, I'll let them pour a cup of ice water on me. What's the big deal? But then one of my students' dads shows up, and he works for a chemical company, and he said, hey, I've got this extra plastic container. I thought that maybe we could fill it up and put it on a forklift, and then we could open it up and just let the water gush on you. And maybe we could let the water sit outside for a night and get nice and cold. And I could look in the back of the room, and I saw his daughter had this smirk on her face. And I'm like, oh no, this is spinning out of control. And so that Friday, me and my co-teacher had to go outside, and the entire school emptied outside as well. And they turned the knob on this big plastic container, and this water that had a sheen of ice over the top of it that we actually could break with a hammer to get it loosened up, gushed out. And it was February and it was freezing, and me and my co-teacher with these brave faces on ran underneath the ice water, and it hurt. And the whole time our students were laughing and cheering, and they couldn't believe that we stuck to our word. I mean, because that's actually what happened here. We told our students we would do something for them, and then even though we really didn't want to, we followed through on it, and we ran through that ice water. And this was one of those moments in the classroom where you feel like, oh wow, we are building a community here. These kids are not only seeing that their teachers stick to their words. When we say we're going to do something, we do it, but also that we're willing to act a little ridiculous in front of them for the sake of building relationships in the community. And it just kind of makes me think, how else can we as teachers figure out ways to show students that we are willing to act a little ridiculous sometimes, that we're willing to go that extra mile. I mean, this project really did motivate the kids to fill up the bin and then touch the ceiling with those shoes that they actually gave away. I mean, we incentivized their hard work, and you know, those little punks were willing to do whatever it took to make sure that we ran out into that ice water. But it was more than that. It was the fact that kids could see that school could be a place that the teachers love to be a part of, and we are invested in it, and we're willing to act a little ridiculous sometimes to just show that we enjoy it and that we want to build this community. Now, do teachers have to do big, extravagant things to build a community and show students that you love the work that you do? No, that's not the moral of this story. The point of this is that I do think it's important that teachers love the work that they are doing and that students can see it. When that happens, students love the work as well. It's contagious, it's infectious. And you know, and this can be done in a lot of different ways. This might be greeting kids every single day with a smile on your face. That could be refraining from complaining when you kind of feel like it at times. That might be going to Friday night football games and waving to students and wearing your school colors proud. Maybe it means doing something nutty, like walking under freezing cold water in the middle of February. And so while this was a very cold activity, it was also a warm one. Because when we finally got dried off and the kids were back in the classroom, we felt a lot tighter of a community.